All right, folks, welcome on back here this Monday afternoon, live in the Cyber Group Trading Room, streaming across social media, Facebook Live and YouTube as always. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. Not Fausto this time, right back in the saddle where we belong. Great to see every one of us. Dale, Bonnie, Lori, Phil, great to see you guys. Ron, Jerry, loud and clear from all. Perfect. I appreciate Fausto tagging in for me on Friday. He knew I was taking the day off actually for a little while back. So felt good to step away from the computer. Felt good to, just get outside a little bit. Just a nice change of pace, at least on my normal Monday to Friday schedule. But alas, here we are. So taking us into this Monday afternoon, well, we see the Dow dropping back off steadily. We thought we were going to see it hold going into like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. It was beginning to build some support, but broke. So heading into the afternoon, as I would usually say, it would be a great time to try and follow the market. If we happen to see some cruise lines, some airlines, making lower highs, pulling back to retest the support, that could be a good short opportunity, perhaps. I'm actually going to show you a trade that I actually just got filled on right before we started this meeting, right actually as I hopped on the microphone. Allow me to set a quick stop order here first, and then I'll jump right over to that trade. We have the GME trade here, at least for right now, pushing up pretty much against the grain completely heading into this Monday. So, for right now, at least for the meantime, GameStop I'll put on our list heading into the afternoon. We're pretty familiar with this GameStop trade at this point from the last week or two with the news coming out, the strategic partnership with Microsoft. From there, it ended up making a huge pop. Later, going into the following week, the same thing. So it looks like you guys did pretty well on it back on Thursday, and then here we are today, this Monday. So yeah, for right now, don't mind just by beginning putting this GameStop on our list. Now, the trade that I just got filled on, I was doing pretty well on it earlier this morning, and then I started to collect these tiny little trades over and over, like a +3, -2, -3, -3, +2. It just, going into the afternoon, this Neo trade really started to kind of, hold a tighter range. Ultimately, though, you can see it's been holding resistance pretty well. It seems to be off its opening print ultimately at 28.18. From there, though, now we're getting our drop. So with this dropping off, I'm feeling pretty comfortable about it. I'm short. I just got filled on a short trade from 28. So this Neo trade, guys, this might be one we'll really jump to going into tomorrow's Traders Talk. For all of us tuning in on social media, keep in mind that we'll be doing that actually live on YouTube coming tomorrow. For all of us inside the trading room, you guys know where to be right here. But at least for right now, Neo is a fantastic trade that we followed from earlier this morning, dropped off after making a lower high. And at least for right now, I'm short on this trade. I'm hoping to see further direction on the way down. So a lot of selling on this trade heading into the mid-morning. So it's been having a really tough time breaking higher. So at least for right now, I'm short. If it ends up popping back over 28, my stop is currently at 28.02. All right, does not mean we're going to put Neo on the main list. I had this order open for a little while, so I just wanted to let you know, with as much as I've been commenting on Neo heading into the day today, just want to tell you. So maybe we'll come back to this at the end. This is a sideless stock. It's not really trending too well, but this could be the beginning of a big move. So, I don't mind coming back to this at the very end. All right. Now, we did have our focus earlier this morning, guys, and it was more pre-market. Unfortunately, to be said at the same time, we should know these patterns are going to come based on how much we tend to watch them happen. So, for example, KXIN, for as much as this ran up, it was a pre-market move, but then after the open, it took off. This was our biggest trade of the day. Ended up squeezing all the way up towards an eventual high of 1340, but we know it's coming, right? I made a funny line in the chat board just earlier. I was saying big trees fall hard, right? Well, they do. Look what's happening here. So it's interesting to see. This is the second day in a row that we've traded this stock back from Friday of last week. And then obviously here today to see it make the exponential run up higher and higher. So the more this kept going, I stayed away personally. I was playing around with Neo. I was playing around with American Airlines and a couple of the others that we'll go through. But yeah, for right now, this KXIN trade, it looks like it's flat. Looks like support might be holding. But for right now, I'm going to stay away. It's likely to continue to dump back down. All right, looks like I might have caught a good one on Neo. It's dropping off nicely as the markets are beginning to break lower here. I see the Dow dropping off steadily. So from the last 2-3 minutes, it dropped like 50 points just about. All right, another one from this morning, and this is where I was saying more the pre-market here. Really, the KXIN was a great trade, but the others that we were watching from the morning and more the pre-market, you gotta watch out. So for a stock like CCNC, I think it was a super low float stock. It made a big pop early in the pre-market and just came right back down. I mean, it was very active in pre-market for that reason. Definitely, made our, or definitely had our interest, was on our list going into the morning. But once it popped and then dropped, look what happened once it got halted. We tend to see this happen all the time here. When a stock reopens off a halt from dropping, the gap is pretty big. So it leaves you in a big hole right away. So it looks like this only kept dropping off here. Stock. Now, this one's doing pretty good for the afternoon. I'm really just going from top to bottom at this point. For any of the others that we'll look to go through from the morning, we'll comment on them as we go. But LYL, another one from last week, more of Thursday, made a big move up Friday, dropped off, and here we are today pushing up, once again here. So yeah, LYL, definitely interesting heading into the afternoon. You can see the sell-off has come in, though, after the most recent pop and drop. You can see that's like from 350. High of the day is 370, but you could see it broke over 350. Looks like good volume came in at the time, squeezed up a little bit higher, but then right away on the next bar, slam back down. If this does move back up anywhere near this top, it would be off 360, I guess. I would assume for there to be a huge iceberg at 350. Listen, I'll put it on our list for right now, but similar line of thinking with this as we just covered before with KXIN, and then with CCNC also. For these stocks that make these big moves up, we're going to expect to see them pull back down. And once we see the sell-off kick in, it's not to assume we're going to see a new complete run back up to break new highs. So I really don't like the fact how quickly this snapped back down. But hey, if this pulled all the way back down to 3, and as much as I'm talking live here, this could be a great setup right here, right now, off of 3. See it squeeze up, 20, 30 cents perhaps. I mean, hopefully a lot more up towards 350, but know your worth on this trade, guys. This LYL stock, I'll put on our list here for the meantime. All right. Let's see. As I do go from top to bottom, I do want to kind of skip ahead quickly. Then we'll go right back to like number 3. MGI, MoneyGram. MGI has been pushing up really nicely heading into the afternoon, pretty much all of today. If I'm not mistaken, I know one of our students mentioned that earnings are on this tonight. I just want to correct them. I saw from Benzinga Pro here, I have October 30th. I have next Friday for earnings on MoneyGram MGI. So for right now, I mean, hey, beautiful trend up towards the highs. It's more of a level 2 stock, I'd say, in terms of volatility, as we would categorize them. Tight spread, a lot of volume on the order book, so that looks great. But for as much as this moved up, this is still going to be very active, and especially across the final 30 minutes of the day. So MGI definitely looking great. We'll put this right back on our list. Also shortable, at least for right now, for those of us that have TradeStation. If it ends up crapping out the other way, at least, then that could be a good short. That's saying that's a great trade on Neo. That is a great trade, and that's not patting myself on the back. It was a slick entry, and for what it's worth, it is dropping off with the market beautifully. So, hey, I wish every trade could drop off as steadily as Neopat. We'll take it, right? I'm watching over it. I'll tell you guys if I get out on this position or not, just as I scroll through. I have like my book map up on my other screen, and I'm watching it. My stop is still set, so if anything, it's going to be like a -2 if this ends up really popping out of nowhere, but I think we're doing good. All right, let's see. So MoneyGram we put back on our list. Let's just kind of skip back ahead here. Oh, actually, I want to jump even to this one, DXF. Ooh, nice pop. China stock here pushing up pretty fast. Probably going to be a very low float. I'll run a quick scan right here. DXF, the float, 6.95 million. That's the same number of shares that are outstanding. Pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's on a beautiful run. Have to respect that. For as much as this moved up, you'd wonder where's the drop going to happen. So, again, that is my concern, calling me a pessimist. But, yeah, for right now, DXF, I'll put this on our list here. This one, MARPS, no way. This one was called out earlier, rightfully so. Rightfully so. But history has a tendency to repeat itself. We ended up trading this stock back from, I think, not even last week, the week before. One of our students, Andrea, called it out at the time. I said the same thing right then and there. pump, complete dump. And the same thing is happening right now. So got to be careful. All right, this BIMI trade, BIMI. This was a great stock from earlier this morning, folks. So really quick, I'll jump to Benzinga Pro. I'll recopy and paste the news here. It's been a little while for anyone tuning in right now. That's right, actually. Huh. I not only copy and paste for you, I copy and paste for myself. I forgot. It's interesting to see a stock make like an 80+% move in pre-market off of earnings. So this was an earnings-based move that we ended up seeing. I was never familiar with this company before, so I always like to keep my earnings calendar updated at the end or at the beginning of every week. I didn't really see them. I didn't really have them in mind, at least I should say. So ended up making this extreme move up. I'll tell you what, I'll have them in mind going into their next earnings report. Going into the week at least. If I see this symbol BIMI make a show up, I'll say right away, oh, that's right, that's the stock that made an 80+% move in pre-market off earnings that last time. So for what it's worth, pop, drop, move back up, and then fell apart. So heading into the afternoon, looks like it's only going to dump off, but could be an interesting to watch. It could be an interesting one to watch going into the rest of this week. Thankfully today is only Monday. So, we have all of this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to see this, find support, make another move back up. So we'll see what happens. All right. AIHS, familiar name from last week, popped from a Fausto flag back on Friday and only continued to move up. Nice slow run though. More of a level 1 trade, 48,000 share order on the ask at the high 125. So it's pretty easy to identify. All right, so this one will make the top part of our list here, AIHS. Jump back to my Neo short there, 2287. All right, doing good. All right, what else do we have here? Anything cheap, anything on our radar, anything familiar name? HX, cheap, pushing up. Kind of patchy volume spikes here. That's my only gripe on that. I'll come back to it. I know we've seen this Ren trade before on the gainers list over the last few weeks, and kind of a spotty chart here. Yeah, same thing. 5.5 million shares, LQDA. Nice push up from earlier this morning, but big drop off. Damn. I haven't seen this one in the last hour or so. So coming back to it, obviously pretty surprised. Shortable. So this could have been a great short. Should it have crapped out the other way, which it did. For as much as it dropped off here the last week, nice squeeze up, I guess. But yeah, this one flew under my radar. Going into the afternoon, not as keen to put this on our list. See if there's anything looking better right now. AMTX, you could say the same thing. Man, this one dropped off pretty sharply too. This one was looking great. All right, we'll pass on that too. AMC from this morning. News came out. New York State going to reopen AMC theaters come this Friday, October 23rd. So nice run from earlier this morning. Perhaps if we have enough time tomorrow, guys, and traders talk, we'll have a chance to go over this trade. But yeah, for right now, same thing. Dump back down here. Oh, and by the way, folks, for anyone tuning in on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube, we're going to be doing our Traders Talk workshop, as we had just said from earlier, just live tomorrow for all of us. So we normally host that live, specifically, exclusively live in the Cyber Group trading room. So we'll look to do that for all of us on social media, at least tomorrow only. Dow dropping off real steadily here. Tilray, TLRY pushed up earlier today. Nice pot stock. Once again, made a big move. Definitely a great stock to keep on your side list, for this afternoon. Not really as much. Same with ACB. Like all these pot stocks made a big run today. So Aurora Cannabis, Canopy Growth, CGC is another one. I don't really see that here. Dave & Buster's Play. Wow, as the markets are still dropping off for right now, the Dave & Buster's trade's still holding afloat. Play right up towards 1765 here. Listen, it's a nice tradable stock. I'd say this, though, the volume really waned off. The volume traded per minute. It's only trading about 4,000 or 5,000 shares per minute across the last 20 minutes in time. So that's not really doing it for me. All right, we'll hop over to the losers list here for the meantime. the market's dropping off steadily, I wouldn't really expect a whole lot to be up percent-wise. So AEL dropping off here. CPIO at the low of the day, shortable. A lot of stuff hard to borrow. I'm just skimming through here, guys. I usually do on the losers list. Like WWR, for example, it's down 16+%. Like, at least now I'll look at it. But just to show you, we can't short this stock, and it's only just continuing to dump. So no need to even look at it. Penn National Gaming down 8.5+%. Wow. Dropping off pretty quickly. This could be an interesting trade to follow. A little expensive, but yeah, I'll put this on here. I know the news out on Penn, they have like a whole bunch of stuff going on with their like new sportsbook app that came out. It's getting good reviews, but then they ended up doing a common stock offering like 2 weeks ago. So there's a whole lot going on with Penn up and down. So, just for right now, we'll trade the volatility. With that, though, we'll at least look at MGM. We'll look at Caesars, some of the other casinos dropping off perhaps. MGM down 1.7%, of course, at the low of the day. So really good trade seems like as a short. Caesars, oh wow, $54. Okay, that's right. I forgot they did their reverse split, if I'm not mistaken. All right, we'll see if there's anything else moving, guys. We'll check out some airlines, some cruise lines, some stocks that we frequently trade otherwise. United Airlines kind of pulling back, as I'd said. That could be an interesting trade. American Airlines, AAL, kind of dancing around its opening bell print off 1264. Oh, actually, first I'll do cruise lines like NCLH, right off my 1650 line I drew up there from earlier. Not really a whole lot moving that well here. Workhorse, pretty flat. And then Hertz, you might want to ask about Hertz here. I mean, Hertz, if this could like hold over exactly where it's at right now, exactly at this penny level, 239, I find some hope, believe it or not. It doesn't look like the greatest pop here, but it's been straddling around Friday's closing bell print, or maybe that's even Friday's opening bell print, that is at 239. I've been waiting for a squeeze up on this trade. I've taken like a few like 2-3 cent losses this afternoon on Hertz, so it's been a pretty annoying trade. But with it actually over 239 right now, so long as it literally stays over that penny level right here, it could be possible to see it run up maybe towards like a 260-ish. That would be interesting. 265, if all goes according to plan. So you know what? I'll keep it on our watch list. Doesn't mean that we're going to trade this exactly right here and right now, but Hertz, I mean, if it could hold over 239, that could be pretty interesting. All right, guys, if there's anything else here, just let me know in the chat board. Ron says space moves up and down with volume. Good side list stock. I would wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, dropping back down here a bit to 23. So very similar to a few of the stocks that I brought up before, even similar to NEO. I don't think I'll put NEO on the main special list. I mean, I'm still short, but yeah, space is right up there, Ron. Good heads up on that one. BHAT perking up. Is it worth watching at $1, or is it a pump and dump? It's up 22%. Looking pretty good, Leda, but I mean, your question is valid. Is it just going to dump back down from this point forward, or what? I don't know what the news is on this trade. I don't know what's going on with the volume here, back from what, March or April time, perhaps even. Some big spikes. Notice the pump and dump here, the big red candles on the daily chart. So I'll put this on our list. Just be careful on this type of trade heading into the afternoon. If you happen to see the volume drop off per minute, or the volume per minute drop off, I should say, or on the other side, if you happen to see a lot of sell off near the highs, I would suggest just to follow and just get out and re-enter the trade if it gives you the opportunity to. All right, guys, I think that we're good to go here for right now. So all in all, I mean, 2, 4, 6, 8 stocks to work with, not too many at least. And aside from that, if there's anything else, guys, just we'll tend to call it out going into the final 30 minutes here, around 3:30 Eastern time, perhaps. Greg, I'm sorry. Greg wrote in the chat board just now regarding the BHAT trade from 9:03 this morning. Even that's the news. The time on the news. Blue Hat announces cooperation with 6 China-based kindergartens to utilize augmented reality immersive classes. That's a pretty cool headline. We'll see if it ends up leading to a higher high into this afternoon, Greg. So, I appreciate you posting the news. We'll see if it can pull back down towards the buck. Otherwise, hold support from there and then make the pop. But yeah, I mean, this BHAT is pretty active heading into this Monday afternoon. All right, guys. So I think that just about does it for all of us on social media. One last time, at least today, Fausto, I'm sure will remind you folks at least tomorrow morning early, but we'll be doing our weekly Traders Talk workshop, which we always tend to host right inside the Cyber Group Trading Room. We'll actually be doing that for all of you guys for free just tomorrow. So we tend to do that maybe once or twice a year even on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. It gives you a very good opportunity to learn more about what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, not just the call outs, the levels, the big moves, and the oohs and ahs. It's really digging into why I was shorting Neo just before from 28, why we're looking at other setups or other opportunities heading into this, going into this time of the day, or at least from earlier this morning. All right, folks, for all of us inside the trading room, give me a quick moment or two. I'll copy and paste the picks. And then aside from that, I'll take you guys heading into this afternoon. Take care.